Before we begin, I want to take a moment to offer a word of caution. The following story that we'll be discussing contains references to some pretty severe mistreatment of children. If you're disturbed by stories associated with emotional manipulation of kids or physical harm to children, this is not going to be an easy video for you to take. It's important to remember that this is a true story of a real girl who, in the best case scenario, has been severely manipulated by those closest to her. If you feel you need to stop the video and take a break, feel free to do so at any time. You may or may not have seen the sudden resurgence of an internet personality recently known as Lil Tay. Or perhaps you've seen her brother's GoFundMe pack full of allegations against her father, asking for $150,000 for legal fees. She's best known for being a bratty girl who flashed around piles of money, expensive cars, and claimed to own 5 luxury homes. If you are familiar with her at all, you will know her for having a loud mouth and flexing her wealth in videos like this.
Lil Tay out here on the top of Beverly Hills. I run this beat. Who do you see doing it like Lil Tay? I'm the youngest one doing it. I run LA. I got shooters there, here. I got shooters everywhere. No one gonna try cross Lil Tay. Look at this view.
As if it weren't obvious enough that this is performative, it was later revealed just how staged her videos were. Her mother was a luxury real estate agent and had arranged the houses that she filmed in, and her brother wrote scripts for her. But don't worry about that, we'll get into that later. About a month ago, the social media star's account suddenly came back to life after years of inactivity, with urgent and dire messages, and some very strong allegations against her father. This was followed up by a ton of YouTubers and online personalities buying into the allegations and portraying them as truth. But who is Lil Tay? Or perhaps you know her by Lil Gucci Taylor, Lil Tay Jetski, Lil Tay Cosgrove, the youngest flexer of the century, the girl whose toilet is worth more than your rent, or perhaps even Claire Eileen Chi Hope, her given name. In order to understand who she is and how she got into the situation, we'll have to look at her life and the conditions under which she came into this world. There is so much misinformation about Claire that even starting at the beginning can be tricky. You see, Claire was born on July 29, 2007. But wait. Looks like when you search her age, many online sources list her birthday as being in 2009. This is because her brother deliberately lied about her age, and presented her as 2 years younger than she was to make the character more noteworthy, give it a little extra sizzle. It was one of the many lies about her background to build the Lil Tay persona. The family that she was born into resided in Vancouver, British Columbia, and consisted of her mother Angela Tian, also known as Tian Chi, her father Christopher Hope, and her half-brother Jason Tian, also known as Sun Jinxian. Her parents never married, and would end up splitting before she was 2 years old. Her father Chris Hope is an insurance litigation attorney, and while it is unknown what her mother Angela did for a living at the time of her birth, she was last employed as a realtor by Pacific Evergreen Realty, a company which she resigned from as her daughter hit it big on Instagram. In an interview with the Daily Beast, Angela said that in China she worked for the government as a statistician, and immigrated to the US in 2002, 1 year before Jason's birth. Claire was a brilliant child. She began taking ballet classes at the age of 4, and performed in Royal Ballet Academy competitions. She studied piano, singing, and Chinese and dreamed of becoming an international star. We don't know anything about the father of Jason, Claire's older brother, but it would appear that he is Chinese due to Jason having a different Chinese family name than his mother and sister. It's unknown if he resides in China or Canada, and the timeline suggests it's a possibility that Angela was pregnant when she immigrated. Jason is 5 years older than Claire, and would have a profound impact on her life. However, while most older brothers would be protective of their younger sister, it would appear that Jason was quite the opposite. The beginning of the Lil Tay character that would make Claire famous begins with Jason. Before there was Lil Tay, there was Rycie. Claire's brother Jason was probably 14 or 15 years old when he first got a thirst for internet fame. He had seen the popularity of YouTubers like Ricegum, and wanted to get some notoriety for himself. Ricegum had massive success on YouTube by performing diss tracks against other young influencers and YouTubers, so Jason decided to try that path. He picked a similar name, rapped in a similar flow, and chose the same topics. He failed. Not only did he fail, but he was a bit of a laughingstock online, and was labeled a Ricegum wannabe. He has since deleted all of the content that he made as Rycie. The only thing remaining from his efforts are some compilations of his raps and other YouTube channels mocking him for the similarities between him and Ricegum. If he was going to find fame on the internet, he was going to have to find another way, and that is where his sister Claire comes in. In late 2017 and early 2018, Jason started filming his sister as she bragged about her wealth and picked fights with minor influencers. She latched onto the catchphrase youngest flexer of the century and had a knack for brash over-the-top delivery. This would be the first of 3 phases of videos she would produce as Lil Tay, and the production is bare bones. It's just Claire in front of a camera, bragging about how much money she had. These were the first 3 short videos that Claire did. They were re-uploaded to YouTube in December of 2017, and it would seem that they were originally broadcast on Instagram not long before that.
This Lil Tay, richer than all y'all broke 30 on my wrist. What the fuck all y'all doing with your lives? I'm 9, I was born in Atlanta, and I was broke as hell. Look at me now, I'm all better than you.
Claire was able to get more attention to the Instagram account than Jason had with his failed YouTube channel. Her first blip on the social media radar was a feud with her brother's idol, Ricegum. In January of 2018, Claire's video diss on Ricegum got his attention, and he responded to it on his channel, pushing her Instagram account up to about 20,000 followers. Ricegum's response was lighthearted and mostly addressed her age and harsh demeanor. Claire's first brush with the kind of negative attention that the internet can bring didn't sit well with her. Even though Ricegum went easy on her, his fans attacked her in the comments of her videos relentlessly and flagged her videos for removal. This proved to be very upsetting for Claire, and she cut this video out of character.
I know y'all are Ricegum fans, but just stop reporting my videos. If you actually think Ricegum is beefing with a 9-year-old, then you just might want to think about that for a second. Me and Ricegum are friends. Just stop reporting my videos. I have a dream. I'm trying to make my mom proud. Like, y'all are here hating on me. You have a family. Go enjoy that. Why are you wasting your time reporting my videos and taking them down? I'm trying to chase my dreams. I'm trying to spread positivity. And y'all are just here hating on me for no reason. Me and Ricegum are friends. Like, I want to make my mama proud. You guys are not doing anything with your life. You may not see it, but I'm trying to accomplish something. And you guys are preventing me from that. All y'all haters. Like, I'm trying to accomplish my dreams. If you don't like me, just block me. I didn't do anything to you.
As you can hear in that clip, Claire was motivated by a desire to make her mother proud. By this point, Claire's flexing videos as Lil Tay had entered their second phase. She now not only had the help of her brother, her mom was in on the act too. She was no longer filming herself in front of a wall. Her videos now featured luxury properties that her mother had access to as a luxury realtor. In addition, Claire's mom Angela even filmed Claire posing within a Mercedes 500 SL that belonged to her boss, David Yang. It's during this period that we started to see the flexing videos that made the Lil Tay character an icon. She created a backstory that was impossible to believe, yet she found an audience online that was half willing enough to play along for the sake of the character, and half too stupid or young to realize how fake it was. She said she was a Harvard dropout. She said she was born in Atlanta in poverty and rose to riches by selling bricks. She claimed that she made her money through motivational speaking and selling exotic cars. She filmed herself attempting to smoke a baby carrot and claimed that she smoked dope all the time. Despite how outlandish the lies were, she was a big hit on Instagram. However, if Angela and Jason were going to get a chance to capitalize on her daughter's talent, they weren't going to be able to do it in Vancouver. Angela Tian was Claire's primary caregiver, but her estranged boyfriend Chris still had legal authority as a decision-maker in regards to Claire attempting an acting career. Chris wasn't too involved in Tay's life, but he had heard about the Lil Tay videos from Claire's school principal, and had been skeptical about the rise of the Lil Tay character online. He was worried that it might put his daughter in a position to be harmed emotionally, or even put her in a situation that could harm her future. Chris says that he felt that he wasn't in a position to stop the development of the character, and hoped that videos would feature a musical or dance talent that Claire could use to turn into a conventional entertainment career. In March of 2018, Angela got Chris to agree to a trip to Los Angeles to seek professional representation for Claire during the spring break holiday. She said that she would be gone for a few days, and Chris granted permission for the trip. As they set off to California, Jason communicated through direct messages on the Lil Tay Instagram account with Bhad, co-founder of the management group The Lights Global, and manager of his favorite rapper Lil Pump. Bhad agreed to buy tickets for Claire and her family to fly out to Los Angeles, and would be the first of many to court Lil Tay as a client. While Angela had told Chris that she would be coming to the US for a couple of days, Bhad offered to put them up in a 5-star hotel for a total of 10 days. They arrived in LA in early April, and were immediately reluctant to work with Battle when he told them he wanted a 5-year management deal. Angela refused the terms and was worried a long-term deal could hurt her daughter's chances at stardom. Despite the falling out with Battle, the family was determined to make stardom work. The family moved out of the hotel and moved in with Vicky, another famous influencer, and Josiah Jenkins, who made a name for himself with videos on Vine. This is where Rycie comes in, and the next chapter of Claire's success on Instagram. He was Vicky's manager and showed interest in working with Claire. Angela was comfortable working with Sang because he also spoke Mandarin. Sang saw what he thought of as a great opportunity. He was in the process of organizing a staged confrontation between Vicky and another meme superstar, Bhad, who had become famous for a viral performance on the Dr. Phil show. The two would exchange insults on Instagram back and forth, building a beef that would ultimately culminate in a fake altercation at the Galleria Mall in Los Angeles. If Claire wanted, she could get in on the stunt. Here's a clip of the staged altercation. Pay close attention to Claire's body language.
No. What's up, man? Don't start talking because I'm in the middle. You'll get hot. Stop.
You trying to fight?
Come on, touch me. I want you to hit me. Hit me. Come on. If you hit me, come on, hit me. I'm right here. You coming at me, so you hit me.
The mall incident took place on April 16th, and Claire's timid appearance and foul mouth alongside the two older girls pushed her to the next level of stardom. Videos went viral on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. The incident got picked up by major entertainment and gossip blogs like TMZ and BuzzFeed. The Lil Tay Instagram account went from 30,000 followers to 250,000 overnight. This was the viral moment that Jason had been waiting for. Claire's success led to the Lil Tay character exploding to become one of the hottest commodities in LA, the kind of make-or-break pivotal moment rising influencers dream of. At this point, Lil Tay became more than a character, but more of a brand, product, or even potential business. If she wanted to get things right and turn an opportunity into lasting fame and success, she was going to need to carefully plan and organize a strategy. That put the future of Lil Tay's development squarely on the shoulders of her 16-year-old brother Jason. Negotiations for representation from both Diomi Battle and Rycie had fallen through, and Claire's family found themselves with 6 agents claiming to represent them. Jason and Angela didn't let the lack of representation keep them from scheduling appearances on their own. At this time, the Lil Tay character made appearances with Chief Keef, Jake Paul, and Ricegum. Music producer Presley Snipes previously recorded a track with Claire called Money Way. He reached out to Jason and Angela in an attempt to arrange a meeting with Warner Music Group, only to be unfollowed by Lil Tay on social media and get no response. He claims that he could have easily obtained a 6-figure recording contract for Claire. In late April, the family was having lunch at Mel's Drive-In on Sunset Boulevard when they noticed that there was a milkshake named after Swaggy Wolf Dog, a famous dog on Instagram. Jason identified an opportunity to collaborate and reached out via direct message. Angela was surprised that the owner was fluent in Mandarin, and the family met with him to look into future collaborations. Wolf Dog's owner stated, "I saw that they didn't know what they were doing, and were open to people taking advantage of them." He connected the family with Diomi Cordero, a manager who shortly moved out of his apartment, so that Angela, Jason, and Claire could have a place to stay. Cordero began working for the family without a contract in the hopes he could earn their trust. His vision for Lil Tay's future included multiple videos that featured Swaggy Wolf Dog and Lil Tay. Cordero also set up a homeschooling regimen for Claire and Jason, and tried to cut down on the edgy language and reckless behavior in Claire's videos, so that she could have a wider appeal for sponsorships and brand deals. However, Cordero soon found his biggest challenge to be Claire's brother Jason. Jason and Angela were so swamped with opportunities for Claire to perform as Lil Tay, they hopped from offer to offer, and meeting to meeting. They had no reservations about leading everyone in Hollywood on, only to pull out of commitment at the last moment, just before things became official. Jason was also very inexperienced with how things worked in the entertainment industry. Cordero managed to barter an $800 dye job with celebrity hairstylist for Claire. All she would have to do was tag the salon in her Instagram. However, Jason refused to do so. As a last-ditch effort to get Claire's career on track and rebrand her image, Cordero managed to get Claire and Angela an interview with Juju Chang on Good Morning America. His plan was for Claire to come clean and admit that she was a normal kid who was just playing a character on Instagram. He hoped that this could put her in a position for more mainstream projects. Jason refused to go along with the plan, afraid that portraying Claire's true personality on TV would ruin her image, and her Instagram account would start rapidly losing followers. To complicate the issue, shortly before the interview aired, footage leaked online of an outtake of Jason and Claire when they were filming one of their earlier videos. In the video, Claire stumbles a bit, and off-camera we can hear Jason's voice as he angrily scolds her for getting the lines wrong.
This shit costs cost me 10,000, and
I
this.
said stop saying 10,000, 2,000, 3,000, 2,500. Bro, wait. Go back and say like, no, you broke. You out here, out here like with your irrelevant. You making a video on me? Like, I'm way more irrelevant than you. You're trying to be relevant and you're trying to be like me.
Mommy, stop! I was filming! Lil Tay be popping on YouTube right now.
No. Redo. You need to be like more ignorant. You have to be like, ooh, Lil Tay out here. Wait, what did he say again?
You still irrelevant, like I said last time. What do I say? I'm a trend maker and you a trend follower. You a Lil.
Social media users noted the heartbroken look on Claire's face as she listened to her brother's directions. As if this weren't enough, it also came to light that one of the cars Claire used in her videos was the property of her mother's boss, David Yang of Pacific Evergreen Realty. Angela had asked Yang if her kids could take a photo with his car, but he was stunned when he saw his Mercedes 500 SL featured in one of Claire's Lil Tay videos, and Angela quit her job shortly before he could fire her. It was then revealed that many of the houses that Claire had filmed in were listed by Pacific Evergreen Realty, and that Angela had been letting Claire use the houses in her flexing videos. On Instagram, a hashtag #FreeLilTay started circulating. Even high-profile celebrities like Snoop Dogg spoke out about what they perceived to be mistreatment of Claire. Vicky, the young influencer that Claire had collaborated with at the Galleria Mall, posted a video where she says Claire was a sweet, innocent little girl. Vicky says Jason was a backstabber who didn't know how to network in the industry. Vicky also stated that when she and Claire appeared at a Chief Keef concert, Claire did a great job playing the Lil Tay character, only to be verbally scolded by Jason after the show. Meanwhile, on the Lil Tay Instagram account, the replies to the videos and photos posted became flooded with hate primarily towards Jason, although many hateful comments also called out Angela and even Claire. The result of all this chaos was a messy interview with Good Morning America that aired on May 23rd. The family puts forward an image not unlike any other typical family, with anchor Juju Chang even remarking about how surprised she was to meet Claire, and find her no different than any other young girl her age, impressed with how precocious and soft-spoken Claire seemed. However, when it is time for Claire to sit down for an interview, she was the same Lil Tay character that was familiar to those who followed her on Instagram, speaking over her mother, and insisting that she isn't playing a part, or being directed. When asked if the houses belong to her, Claire insists that they do, despite documented evidence online that she was merely playing a character and using houses that her mother had access to as a real estate agent. When Claire states that she dropped out of Harvard, she was unable to name the city Harvard was located in. When Chang expressed doubt that Claire owned the houses featured in her videos, Claire simply says, "No one can prove that the houses aren't mine." The day after the interview aired, Angela and Cordero released comments to BuzzFeed News that veered away from the impression Claire was the sole voice behind the Lil Tay persona. Angela also rose to the defense of Jason. She released a statement to the reporter via text message. "Jason is the only one who did an excellent job for her. He guided her, did everything for her without anybody else involved." She also released a comment via email about the collaboration between Claire and Jason. "I love that they are working together. They're very smart and super creative, and I'm glad it's staying in the family." It was immediately after the GMA interview that everything fell apart. A video leaked of Claire smoking a hookah pipe and coughing, with her mother visible in the background, and Jason is behind the camera, handing her the pipe. As the online hate from the GMA interview, and the leaked footage of her brother directing her grew, the increased exposure led many to dig through Claire's initial Lil Tay videos, where she used the N-word and other racial slurs pretty frequently. Then on June 3rd, her social media went silent, and she dropped out of interviews she had previously lined up. Her Instagram was also wiped clean at this point, and all previous photos and videos were removed. When asked by media for comment, Diomi Cordero stated that Claire was going through a rebrand. The disappearance of the Lil Tay character from social media was unexplained at the time, but was something anyone with any knowledge about her situation could see coming from a mile away. Claire's father Chris had understood that his daughter would be going to LA for a couple of days, and as that time frame stretched out to 6 weeks, Chris hopes patience wore thin. It didn't help that videos of Lil Tay hanging out with rappers like Chief Keef and Lil Pump depicted environments with obvious signs of drug use that his daughter was exposed to. Claire was often FaceTiming with rapper XXXTentacion, who at the time was facing allegations of multiple violent incidents and was awaiting trial for strangling his pregnant girlfriend. X also did time for robbery, as well as stabbing his manager. Claire was scheduled to fly to Florida to appear at an event with X, and Chris feared she may be in danger. Chris went through the legal system in Canada to get an order demanding that Angela bring Claire back to Vancouver at risk being arrested. The result of the court order deepened the rift between Claire and her dad. She perceived him as preventing her from fulfilling her dream. However, Chris Hope laid out a path for Claire to continue her activity on social media. If she were to return to the USA, he wanted her to get a US work visa. A lack of work visa in the past had prevented Claire from signing contracts and accepting payment. He also wanted 25% of any money that she would make to go into a trust that she would be able to access once she turned 18, in compliance with California law. Perhaps the biggest stipulation, however, was that Chris wanted Claire's videos to incorporate another talent, such as singing or dancing, in addition to the flexing videos that the Lil Tay character had become well known for. While in Vancouver, Lil Tay got in touch with Chris Jones, a promoter who has worked with tween social media stars like Rocco Piazza and Lil Terrio. Angela and Chris agreed to allow Claire to work with Jones, who traveled to Vancouver to record music with her in September. Claire also traveled to LA to collaborate with Rocco Piazza on a video, and to record more music with Jones. It was at this time that a previously recorded short 3-part documentary for a streaming service called Zeus was released. It was called Life with Lil Tay, and featured her family and her agent Diomi Cordero. The series was structured to move Claire away from flexing videos, with episodes featuring a contrite Claire coming to terms with her initial use of the N-word, as well as meeting a ballet instructor and music producer to help her develop talent she could showcase as an influencer, instead of relying on the brash, obnoxious Lil Tay persona. However, it wasn't long before everything would fall apart yet again. There were some troubling signs of strange activity on the Instagram account starting in September, when an ominous post containing the words "Please help" were posted, and the account mysteriously posted images containing gore, and a fake passport with Claire's photo, indicating that she is 16 years old. This may have been a legitimate hack of the account, as it is out of character and inconsistent with the claims made by Jason and Angela in later posts. Remember the warning about some pretty dark content I had at the beginning of the video? Yeah, well, the stuff we've talked about thus far has been pretty disturbing, but it's about to get really bad, so if you feel uncomfortable when confronted with content involving children being put in harm's way, now's the time to turn back. It was at this point that things get really weird. There was a struggle between Chris and Angela over the future of Claire's online presence, and on October 20th, the account posted chilling accusations of mistreatment of Claire at the hands of her father Christopher Hope. The post claimed to be someone who worked closely with Claire. The primary meat of the accusations was contained in 3 posts that were presented to appear as if they were court affidavit. However, the documents refer to Claire as Tay, so it is unclear if they were used in a courtroom setting. The documents appear to be a sworn statement made by Angela accusing Chris of cheating on her during their relationship, and not properly caring for Claire. Chris is characterized as having an Asian fetish, and having relations with multiple Asian women. It also states that when staying with Chris, Claire would sometimes sleep in his bed, with his girlfriend present. Chris is also accused of having a second wife in China in addition to his new wife, Haney Hope. The post said he showed no prior interest in being a father for Claire, and that he was only showing recent interest once she rose to prominence on Instagram. There were also accusations that Hope had not paid child support for Claire between the ages of 2 and 4, and that he applied for equal parenting time when she was 5 years old to avoid child support payments. They allege that Claire hasn't visited or stayed with Hope since 2014, when she would have been 7 years old. They also included a text exchange that was presented as being between Claire and Chris, in which she is begging to visit Florida for XXXTentacion's charity event. Chris Hope was directly blamed for the death of X, with a lengthy post stating that X would not have been shot if Chris had allowed Claire to visit him for a charity event in Florida. In addition to allegations against Chris Hope, the account also accused Haney Hope, Chris's wife, of being an online scammer. They posted what appeared to be social media posts of people who had accused Haney of fraud. The account also posted a video which depicted Claire crying in a car, upset at the decision that she needed to leave Los Angeles and return to Vancouver. The video is taken by someone sitting next to Claire in the back seat. We can see someone counseling Claire, letting her know that she has to follow the judge's orders to leave for Vancouver. The man references Angela, asking her to help Claire accept the judge's order, so it is possible that it is Angela in the back seat taking the video. Chris Hope can be seen standing to the side, and Claire expresses that he doesn't care about her and hadn't visited her. An announcement was made on the main IG account that another Instagram would be set up called @freeliltay__ and encouraged users to follow the account for more information. The second account rose to 250,000 followers and was set to private. The posts from that secondary account listed Chris Hope's address, phone number, and place of business, and called for a campaign to harass his law firm and leave bad reviews in an attempt to get him fired. Hope says he received thousands of phone calls, and that family members were also harassed and threatened.
But you have to come in there tonight. You really do. There's no other option here.
We don't have to go inside right now. We can just go in my car. We'll just drive somewhere and talk about it, okay?
I'm not going.
I think you should come with me and we'll just talk about it.
Angela, you gotta follow what the judge said. You have to encourage her. You have the responsibility.
That's the way it is.
No, you didn't. You literally lived like 6 minutes away, but you never even came to visit me, so you don't even care about me.
Well, I want to talk about these things.
When contacted for a comment, Chris Jones, the music producer that Claire had been working with, stated that the account was hacked and that it was unknown who was posting the accusations. It's notable that at this point, there were two sides which emerged in a battle over the future of Claire's career. Rycie, Diomi Cordero, and Chris Jones, who had worked with Claire in various capacities, agreed with her father Chris Hope that she should pursue a more conventional path for a tween social media figure, whereas her brother was concerned that a rebranding would eliminate him from the picture. Rycie told the Daily Beast that Chris Hope did not act in an effort to capitalize on the Lil Tay character, but had Claire's best interests at heart. Sang claimed that Angela and Jason Tian tried coordinating claims of severe mistreatment that were even more outlandish than the accusations posted on Instagram. This claim was later backed up by Diomi Cordero in an interview he conducted with the Hollywood Fix in December of 2018. In a video that was posted to YouTube, but has since been set to private, Diomi is taking Swaggy Wolf Dog out for a walk when he is stopped by a reporter on the street. He confirms that he saw Claire's passport and that she was born in 2007. He states that the family never made much money because they were too difficult to work with and spend their time in Los Angeles hopping from place to place before living in his apartment. He stated that when Chris Hope ordered Claire to return to Canada, Jason came to him with the idea of launching a campaign to smear Hope, with allegations of severely mistreating Claire, in an attempt to fight the court order. In a statement, Hope said he was concerned when Claire's videos began to go viral, and that he disagreed with most of the social media activity. Chris directly alleged that Angela and Jason were using Claire's talents in an attempt to make money. Hope stated that he received an influx of death threats resulting from the posts on Instagram, and filed a cease and desist order against Jason Tian and Instagram, and it wasn't long before the entire account had its posts deleted. In the documents related to the order, Hope issues the following quote: "The account has been taken over by her brother, Jinxian's son, aka Jason Tian, also a minor. He has either personally, or encouraged others, or negligently allowed the account to be used by third parties, to conduct criminal extortion and harassment, as well as the torts of defamation and libel." Angela and Jason denied being behind the accusations posted on the Lil Tay Instagram. However, the allegations posted match up with accusations later leveled directly by Angela Tian 3 weeks later. On November 12, Nextshark, a website that focuses on news related to the Asian community in the US and Canada, published an article which uses Angela as a confirmed primary source. In the article, Angela accuses Chris of only paying attention to Claire after she became famous. She claimed Chris cheated on her with several women from Craigslist when they were together, and Claire had seen naked images of the women he would meet on Chris's computer. Angela also claimed Chris is hurting Claire's chances to advance her career. She also said he was sending her to school with expired food in her lunches, and the article includes several images of expired food Angela claims Chris and Haney sent to school with Claire. Angela also said when she messaged Haney Hope, Chris's wife, about the lunches, she received a note with a message: "F off Chinese, B," written in Haney's handwriting. The most serious allegations Angela leveled were that Chris and his wife, Haney Hope, would often go out to parties and leave Claire with Haney's sister, who would sometimes lock Claire in a closet. Angela stated she had reached out to Chris in an attempt to have them hire a babysitter, but Chris ignored her until she contacted the Canadian Ministry of Children and Family Development. Angela provided Nextshark with a police business card with a date of August 4, 2014, claiming this was given to her when she initially contacted the police regarding her desire for Chris to hire a proper babysitter to watch Claire. Angela also accused Hope of frequently being naked around Claire and bathing with her. However, it is not specified at what age this occurred. There is an accusation that Claire, Chris, Haney, and Claire's stepbrother took a bath together, and her stepbrother went underwater and smelled the bottom of Haney, Claire's stepmother, which Claire found to be disgusting. A similar accusation appeared in the Instagram post. However, in that post it was Claire's bottom in question, and not her stepmother's, so it's a bit of an inconsistency. During this time, there are sources that say that the conflict between Angela and Chris over the direction of Claire's career resulted in a custody battle. The next time we would hear from Claire in the media was not through Instagram, but through a telephone interview in December of 2018. The Daily Beast spoke with both Claire and Angela. They also spoke with Chris Hope for comments. In the interview, Claire states that she thinks Chris Hope filed the order forcing them to return to Vancouver to capitalize on her fame. She claimed that she hadn't seen him for several years, and that she doesn't want to spend time with him. When asked if Hope had asked for money, Angela responded that she was concerned because Claire had been searching online and discovered that Hope had tried to trademark the name Lil Tay in Canada. In response to this allegation, Hope said the following: "I applied for the trademark because it was obvious her mom hadn't taken any steps to do things in a business-like manner, reserve the names, get accounting set up, make sure tax obligations could be satisfied. Filing a trademark was one of the things that needed to be done. I was concerned that people were also trying to use that name. Recording artists need to be incorporated, but none of those things had been done. I wanted at least to take the minimum steps so that Claire would be protected if her career did go somewhere." It's worth noting here that while Angela is trying to use Chris's attempt to trademark Lil Tay in Canada, that trademark shows it was abandoned, and the process was never followed through with. Lil Tay was trademarked in the US by Angela, and the status is currently active. The Canadian trademark has its purpose listed as apparel, and the US lists a ton of purposes. Seriously, you can pause the screen at this point and look at them if you'd like, but there are too many to list. Claire also confirms that in June, when all social media on her account was deleted, it was at the request of Chris Hope. She was asked if starting the account was her idea, and she stated that her mother wasn't involved. However, she refused to answer if starting the account was her brother's idea, stating that she would prefer to talk about her brother's involvement in another interview. It is at this point where the interview takes a dark turn. When asked about her relationship with her father, Claire addresses the most disturbing accusations in the Instagram post and Nextshark article. About the possibility of living with Hope, Claire states the following: "I will never go to his place. I was literally locked in a closet. He was out partying. His wife, she has a sister, and her sister was babysitting me. She never liked me. She locked me in a closet." The Daily Beast reporter asked Claire when this happened, and Angela replied 2014, after which Claire stated it was probably 2014. The reporter then asked Claire what happened when she was locked in the closet, to which Claire replies, "I didn't do anything, she just never liked me." At this point, Angela Tian takes over and describes the events as she experienced them. "She came back to me and she told me she was locked in a closet for a few hours. I called Chris Hope and he did not answer the phone. I left a message and said, 'You cannot do that. You cannot leave her with a babysitter.' I text messaged him, and he ignored me. After that, the next week, she went there, and came back to me, and told me the same thing again. I was really frustrated, and I took Tay to the police. After Tay, I said, 'Did you tell your dad?' And Tay said, 'Yeah.' And I said, 'What did your dad say?' And her dad didn't say anything. I was so surprised. I took Tay to the police, and the police reported it to the Ministry of Children and Family Development. We went to the police. The police had a file. They said it was their job and the police called me. They called me 2 times. She had a serious talk with Mr. Hope. That's all I know." In response, Hope had this to say about the accusation involving the closet: "She was never locked in a closet. If there is any, it didn't take place at my house, or have anything to do with me. Whoever was running the Instagram, I think we all know who was running the Instagram, made a lot of false allegations." Another interesting part of the interview that is relevant to the current accusations that Jason Tian is coming forward with is the matter of money. Angela was asked if Claire had made any money using the Lil Tay character and Instagram account, and this is when she makes it very clear that Claire did not make any money. She states that she had a lot of chances to make money, but never signed a contract. She said there were opportunities in May to make money, but she wanted a manager first and a professional team. The final piece of the puzzle brings us up to date and presents us with a pretty troubling situation. On April 21st of 2021, over a year after the Daily Beast article, and almost 3 years since the last existing post on her Instagram account, the Lil Tay Instagram account became active. An image was posted to the account that simply said, "We have some bad news about Tay," with no further information. This was followed by a sequence of posts that counted down to April 23rd. On April 23rd, a post was made to the account pushing forth many of the same allegations that had been previously made by Angela and Claire in the interview, by Angela in the Nextshark article, and by the Instagram account run by her brother prior to Christopher Hope, forcing him to delete it via cease and desist. There are also many other allegations made, and some alterations to the initial allegations presented as well. Jason makes the allegations in 5 Instagram posts, and links to a GoFundMe which is quite lengthy. We'll go through the allegations post by post on Instagram, and then look at the content of the GoFundMe. The first video is a 10-second clip of Claire. She's holding a phone, is visibly upset, and looks as if she is about to cry. The text in the post claims that the video was taken in 2018, when Claire was told about the court order requiring her to return to Vancouver. It claims that her father demanded custody, money, and control over her career, and that she will be fighting for her life in the Supreme Court of Canada. The post claims Hope directly hurt Claire physically, a claim which didn't appear in the previous rounds of accusations, and this is gone into in further detail in later IG posts and the GoFundMe. The second post contains 2 videos of Chris Hope interacting with Jason. In the first, Jason accuses Hope of owing 6 figures in child support and trying to use Claire for financial gain, as well as manipulating the media against Jason and Angela.
You owe 6 figures in child support. Do you know this? You haven't been in her life for years and now you show up? And now you want to use her career as blackmail to waive your child support expenses? How can you even explain this? And then you go on to manipulate the press to look like the hero parent.
Have a good day.
In the second video, Jason asks if Chris is going to harm Claire and Angela, to which Hope replies, "Good job, Jason." The text accompanying the videos states that Chris does not have custody of Claire, that Claire has been silenced by Chris on social media to prevent her from speaking out, and that he has stolen millions of dollars from Claire.
You gonna come in and my mom and my sister now?
Good job, Jason.
Nice one. What about the millions of dollars you stole? Real mature, Chris. You're gonna act like you're the righteous one.
This is where Jason gets into claims that are downright provably false. His claim Chris stole millions doesn't add up. If you remember, in the Daily Beast interview, Angela stated the family didn't earn any money during Claire's brief meteoric rise as an influencer in California. There is also the figure of $400,000 in child support that seems suspicious. Chris had equal parenting time until Claire was 5, and she's currently 13. Let's assume Chris was liable for the entire 96 months. Obviously, I don't know how much Chris Hope makes, but let's put in $200K and see what we get. Child support payments in British Columbia for 1 child, and a salary of $200K would be $1,746 a month. Multiply that by 96 months and you get $167,616. This is assuming Hope hasn't paid a dime, and is liable for all 8 years. I understand there are fees that may have accumulated, but Canada also garnishes wages for non-payment of child support, so is it really feasible that he owes $400,000 in back child support? I'd say it's near impossible. The next post contains 10 photos of Chris Hope and his wife Haney Hope on vacations, eating out and at concerts or other events. Jason claims the couple took vacations and spent money Claire made from the Lil Tay character. YouTuber Ivan Steff made a video addressing the photos included in this IG post, as well as photos included in a Facebook page Jason created, and found some of the photos were taken in 2016, prior to Claire's performances online as Lil Tay. The next IG post is of a young girl with red bumps on her back. There are additional photos of Claire's face, with a red rash on her cheek. She appears quite young, perhaps 5 or 6 in the photo. The text reads, "This is what Haney Hope and Chris Hope did to Tay. They beat her, forced her to watch horror movies, dragged and locked her in a dark closet." The photos look more like an allergic reaction than signs of a beating, but Jason will explain this later on his GoFundMe site that we'll be going over later. The final post on IG shows a business card from 2014, with a police reference number. This matches Angela's prior story about Claire's 15-year-old stepaunt babysitting her and locking her in a closet, after which Angela called the police. Jason's GoFundMe page repeats the claims made on Instagram, but we'll only be looking at claims that weren't covered in the IG account. Jason claims his mother has spent her life savings and legal fees, over $750,000, in court battles with Chris Hope. Jason repeats accusations made by Angela and the Instagram account in October that Chris Hope spent time with multiple Asian women while Claire was young, and this had a negative influence on her development. Jason also repeats the accusations Angela made regarding expired school lunches, and includes photos of old food, some of which are included in text message exchanges that are purported to be between Angela and Chris. There is also a photo of what is presented to be a text message exchange between Angela and Chris that includes a broken shoe. Jason claims that Chris refused to buy new shoes for Claire, and that she was teased for having broken shoes. The GoFundMe also escalates the prior accusations about Claire being locked in a closet. Jason claims that not only was it Chris Hope who locked Claire in the closet, but that he and Haney, quote, instructed Tay to stand between the closet door where she then slammed the door on her foot. She was left with a broken and bloody toenail. Tay fell to the ground, and Chris Hope and his woman dragged and locked her in the dark closet. They did this when she was only 5 years old. Unquote. In addition to the closet incident, Jason says that Chris and Haney pinched, scratched, and beat Claire, and that she had scratches all over her back. Included is the IG photo of what appears to be an allergic reaction. He includes another photo of Claire's face, in which her cheek is red, but it's unclear if there is bruising or if it is related to an allergic reaction. I won't be including these photos in the video out of the sensitivity of the matter, but they can be viewed in Jason's GoFundMe. Jason claims that Hope told the police that she was playing hide and seek with her stepbrother when she hid in the closet, and that she fell at the playground. However, while Jason includes a business card related to the investigation in 2014, he doesn't provide a copy of the police report. Jason also alleges that Chris's wife Haney was intensely jealous of Claire and would berate her on a nightly basis, resulting in extreme social anxiety at school. It also should be noted that the GoFundMe was launched on April 23rd and has raised $16,500 from 955 donors thus far. What's interesting is that if you scroll to the donations to see the very first donation, which is anonymous, it is also the biggest donation that the GoFundMe has received, with a value of $1,500. It's a pretty common tactic to get the ball rolling with your own GoFundMe and start things off with a very large donation to yourself to make it more likely for others to donate, and that's likely what happened here. There's another donation of $1,000, and it's likely that was a fake donation as well. So where does that leave us today? Is there any truth to the allegations against Chris Hope? Is Jason's GoFundMe a worthy cause, or is he trying to earn money from his sister's online status? Is Angela pulling the strings behind Jason? Let's take a look. Previously, I've been trying to keep this video free of my personal opinion, but I may have to do some editorializing here. As we stated before, there are some allegations in Jason's GoFundMe that are outright provably false. Claire never made millions, and YouTuber Ivan Steff made a video proving that many of the photos that Jason used as proof that Chris was spending Claire's money were taken before the Lil Tay persona was even a thing. Jason claims that Chris is only interested in Claire because he wants to use her to profit. If that were the case, why did he order her to return to Vancouver? Why has he banned her from social media, the one place where she could make money? If he were truly interested in making money, he'd have no problem with her flexing and flossing. If anyone were interested in making money from Claire, it would be Jason. During her time in LA, every one of Claire's managers, collaborators, or music producers identified Jason as a principal problem and roadblock to Claire's success. In my opinion, Jason was afraid of true success for Claire because it would involve handing over creative control to a more traditional manager or content team. The way that the GoFundMe was launched itself seems a bit fishy. If your sister is in dire need of help, wire in a cryptic message prior to launch and do a countdown like it is an album dropping. It's all engineered to go viral. A couple of YouTubers like Adizzy and Poppy Dre have also come forward, stating that they contacted by Swaggy Wolf Dog's Instagram account, claiming that Lil Tay would be making a comeback as well, in an effort to make the page go viral. TikToker Krilla was contacted directly by Jason prior to the Instagram post as well. What's even stranger is that as of June 13th, the beneficiary on the GoFundMe changed to Nestor to Duray. Who the heck is that? Well, as you can see, it's a pretty unique name. Seems to be a guy who just graduated from the University of Kentucky with a degree in chemical engineering, but whose true passion is photography. He's got a Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, and his Instagram lists his location as Los Angeles. I sent him a DM to see what the story is, but as of right now he hasn't responded. I haven't seen much documentation of a link between the two online, however it's notable that Nestor and Jason do follow each other on Instagram. Jason has about 12,000 followers, but only follows about 500 people, mostly thirst-trapping thoughts, so this is pretty significant. Does Jason owe money to Nestor? Did Jason and Nestor work together? Is Jason currently in Los Angeles or is he in Vancouver? Who knows? What we do know is that Jason had been previously claiming that he could not be scamming, because the beneficiary was listed as Lil Tay, and that Lil Tay is not a person, but a character, whose trademark is owned by his mom. We also know that the beneficiary has been changed to Nestor, and we have no idea why Jason would be paying this guy money. How about the most severe accusation, that Claire was locked in the closet? Perhaps the most damning evidence for Jason's case of physical mistreatment of Claire at the hands of Chris Hope is the Daily Beast interview in which Claire states that she was locked in a closet while staying with Chris Hope. The fact that Angela went to the police after the incident also lends credibility to the charge, even if we aren't able to see the police report. However, one thing to keep in mind is that, when Angela spoke to Nextshark about the closet, and the allegation was posted on the Lil Tay Instagram, the claim was that Haney Hope's sister, Cheska Alcover, who was 15 years old at the time, had locked Claire in the closet while babysitting. This is drastically different than the charge that Jason makes in the GoFundMe. It's also hard to believe that Angela would take photos of bad lunches to document as evidence, but did not take a photo of Claire's broken and bloody toenail. I'd say that the allegations of further physical mistreatment are also questionable, because they hadn't been brought up in previous accusations. This isn't letting Chris Hope off the hook. There is a definite possibility that he was negligent and inattentive to Claire's care. We just don't know. Claire states that she was locked in the closet, and that when she told Chris Hope about the incident he was indifferent. That kind of claim shouldn't be dismissed, but we should also consider that Claire is recounting events from when she was 6 years old, and she also may have been influenced to say this. Angela and Jason have shown that they have no qualms about lying to media figures in the past. The interview was also conducted by phone, with Angela providing most of the answer regarding the closet incident, and the reporter was unable to see Claire and Angela as they answered the question. The core premise of the GoFundMe is that Claire is involved with a case in the Canadian Supreme Court fighting for her life. However, the Canadian Supreme Court doesn't handle custody cases, and YouTuber Ivan Steff checked the ongoing list of cases at the Supreme Court of Canada, and Christopher Hope or Angela Tian are not to be found. It's unclear whether this is a custody battle between Angela and Chris, or if Claire is seeking some kind of emancipation from her parents. Claire stated in the Daily Beast interview that, while she was ordered to return to Vancouver, she would not be staying with Chris Hope. It's possible that the court battle is about Hope reclaiming parenting time with Claire, but we really don't know. The accusations in Jason's GoFundMe are so over the top that I don't think Angela is behind it. It's more likely that Jason is doing this in an effort to get money for himself now that he is 18 and can legally collect funds from GoFundMe. From what we know about the conflicts between Angela Tian and Chris Hope that resulted in a court order to return to Vancouver, the conflict may be over whether or not Claire can continue to pursue a career in entertainment. After all, Chris Hope has the power to legally veto any offers that Claire might have to work. Hope has stated publicly that he is not opposed to Claire performing, that he just wants it to be more talent or musically focused, and not shooting flexing videos that could create a reputation that could hurt her later in life. However, it's quite possible that he's saying one thing publicly, while privately he is shutting down even wholesome opportunities for Claire just to spite Angela and Jason, which would be unfair to Claire if she truly does want to pursue acting or singing. In the end, this is a tragic story, because a girl has been robbed of her childhood. Chris Hope stated that when he got Claire to return to Vancouver, he was hopeful that she could return to school, and that she could be a normal kid again. However, that isn't the case. Claire states in her interview with the Daily Beast that she continues to be homeschooled because she gets mobbed when in public. She said that not only could she not attend school, she couldn't even go to the mall without being swamped with attention. However, that interview is roughly 2.5 years old, so there's a good chance that things have died down a bit. We can come to the conclusion that the GoFundMe posted by Jason is just another effort to make money off of her name, but by no means does that mean she isn't suffering. Claire's going to turn 14 this year, and she's bound to have a tough time in adolescence, as she can't live the life of a normal kid and is forbidden from socializing online as well. It's clear that she loves her mom, but it's also clear that her mom showed really poor judgment and put Claire in a position where she could ruin her future all for the pursuit of short-term clout and fame. Chris Hope says he has Claire's best interests at heart, but if he's going to earn her trust, it's going to be a long process. There's no doubt that she's talented and smart, and hopefully she can get to a point where she can put all of this behind her.